Whoa!
Whoa!
We're back at it again, boys. Back at July with another hot mixtape track. I wonder how many times I can open with that very same joke.
Yeah, it's
That
kind of stale right now.
It's my shtick. It's my thing. My doobly doo. It's how I roll. It's how I make funny jokes. I repeat them ad nauseum until they cease to be funny.
Yeah, and then we punch you all in the face. And yes, welcome to the updated, the finest podcast.
It's got a new facelift. With new facelift, I mean literally, I spent 5 minutes being like, oh yeah, change a bit of this, change a bit of that. I watched way too many JoJo openings.
At the same time.
I watched a lot of JoJo openings at the same time, and here we are, and I made a thing. I did most of the art. I know you made your own portrait, which is mint as.
Oh, thank you. I still be thinking about updating my portrait sometime down the line, but not right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can't update the visuals for every episode that we have. That would be kind of strange.
No. Yeah, we kind of have to give the viewers some leverage and something to get used to before we shake it up and make them angry, you know.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be like YouTube.
Yeah, if we be like, whoa, I don't really like the newest finest podcast art style. Kind of like they sold out or something.
I liked it better when fucking Speedweed was actually very ugly. Because down the line, you know, you're gonna get loads of money, and you're gonna get fucking ripped as, and you're gonna be like super huge, and people are gonna be, I liked it better when Speedweed was a neckbeard.
Or we could do it like this. Each iteration will make our portraits become more and more yo-yo-like. So at the end, we all become like really BC shonen pretty boys.
I'd love it. I'd love getting a stand too, if that wouldn't be too much to ask.
No, we're all Hamon based now.
We're all Hamon based. Okay, yeah. It depends really. I'm scared to make a poll about it. Which one was better, the Hamon era or the stand era? People are a bit polarized on that front, I think.
Yeah, it's the question of the decade.
It's the question of the ages. Yeah, no. So, you know, I was going to be a real cool dude and ask you like, hi, so what you been up to this week? But I know what you've been up to this week because fucking hell, if I don't talk to you at least once a day.
Yeah.
Funny story, actually. Well, I'm telling it to you. You remember it. You were there. But
Yay!
I remember when a while back, actually, it was this year, I think. We were going to get some pizza, and we were sitting down, you know, waiting for it to be made. And there was this old dude sitting across from us. Yeah. You know about this. You know about this.
Yeah, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
And the guy, like, he, like, looks at me, like, really funny. Looks at us really funny. And we kind of, like, you know, you get it. He's drunk. He's fucked off his mind. He doesn't know what he's doing there. I don't even think he's waiting for his pizza, you know, at this stage. I think he's just there and forgot to order. And he essentially like turns to me and like, are you that guy that judges people on the internet? And the first thing that happened is like I like jumped to. I'm like, did I like I you know I don't really have. I have a lot of online presence, but most of my presence is literally memes. I share a lot of memes, and that's essentially it. So I kind of like, you know, try to go through my mind, like my memories, and trying to figure out what the hell he was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. You're more of a messenger than a writer, if you say so, because you just relay an already written message or already made picture.
Yes.
In the ether of the internet.
Definitely. And you know, I can't figure anything out. At first, I sort of think that he's mistaking me for PewDiePie. Believe it or not, despite that I am quite big of a guy, people have like been like, "Are you PewDiePie?" Well, mostly it's because when they can only see my face, they sort of like make a knee-jerk reaction because I'm from Sweden. I've also heard someone call me Rob Ass, but I have no clue who that is, so I have no point of reference.
Oh, Rob, you don't?
No, I don't know who that is.
He's a pretty famous Swedish YouTuber who makes some game videos.
Oh, so
like I remember him doing some XCOM stuff a while ago.
Ah, sick. Now, well, there you go. I got a new recommendation going on. Fantastic. And anywho, I'm like, I just kind of look at him like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he gives a go like, oh, well, you know, the guy that judges people on the internet. And quite immediately, both you and me get kind of sick of him.
Yeah.
And we just kind of start ignoring him. And then he goes on this, you know the whole, like, everybody above 40 likes going on these huge rants, telling young people what idiotic, stupid little cretins there are for going through their phones all the time and not having a proper conversation.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, he was all like, oh, you're unsocial enough, but we sit right there, waiting for a pizza, talking while we are surfing the web on our phones, for fuck's sake.
And it sort of ended up with me snapping a little bit. I got a little bit vexed, if you will. And I essentially like told him, like, okay, we've been talking every single day for the last 6 years. Sometimes I need a little bit of peace and quiet. It's okay, we talk almost all the time. 5 minutes on my phone, I think Speedweed will still be there when I look up from it. I think we'll be all right. And we just kind of let him be after that. But it was such a strange guy overall. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Though I don't really remember what we were doing after that, but if I recall correctly, I think we watched Devilman Crybaby right after that happened.
That's true, we did watch Devilman Crybaby. What a good show that is.
Devil May Cry Baby.
Devil May Cry Baby with Dante and Akira in a gay relationship. That's the kind of show I want to see.
That's hot. That's hot as fuck, yeah.
I want Akira to step on Dante with high heels.
Oh, kinky.
That would be my ultimate fantasy.
Oh, then you would love Devilman. Oh, wait, Devilman Lady. Oh,
Devilman Lady. No.
Lady.
No. The dick makes it cuter, or is that what they say?
But that's the thing about Satan, though. He has dick and boobs.
Dick and boobs. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
And he's a fluffy boy.
He has Goldilocks like Jesus, yet he's still Satan. It's funny how that works. One of the weirdest parts about Devilman Crybaby has to be what a weird impression it makes at you at first.
yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's animated. You know, the guy who animates it is really talented. He definitely goes for movement before what do you call it? Fidelity, I guess.
Before still frames, because all he does is really fluent, and he makes priority that there are more frames than anything really.
Yeah, for sure.
He also made that ping pong the anime, I think.
Oh,
and some,
I haven't seen it.
Drama anime, yeah.
That's That's that might be right. But on the other hand, you know, while the original OVA, I guess, you know, when he basically meets the demon he possesses, it has a lot more. Amon, that's right. It has a very much more gritty style with all the blood and people dying everywhere.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of an old Todd McFarlane comic, almost.
Yeah, and while they focus a lot more on the visual grotesqueness, in the Crybaby verse, they focus on making the movements and stuff look really grotesque.
Yeah, for example, you know, the first scene where you really see the demons at the disco.
Yeah.
Like, so many frames of just pure transformations, grotesque violence and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of the biggest money shots in the entire show.
Definitely. It's super cool. I love the part where he actually turns into Devilman. The roar he makes, it's guttural.
Oh
It's
yeah,
great.
yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, it's good. It has some character to it. I think that a lot of monsters in any sort of media these days try to make it. They try to mimic the T-Rex from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's getting really boring, definitely. But when in the roar that Devilman makes, they sort of put a human voice under it too.
Yeah, exactly.
They do something similar with Biolante in I don't remember which movie.
Yeah, in the Godzilla vs. Biolante movie. Yes. Yeah, they do because in both cases they just want to keep some of the humanity of the character in it.
Yes.
In the man's case, is that it's Akira that's being overtaken by a demon but struggling with it. In Biolante's case, it's a lot more complicated and really weird because in the movie itself, it isn't really made clear. But I think it was one of the novelizations of the movie that claims that the soul of the scientist who made Biolante, the daughter
of the scientist.
The daughter of the scientist died, and her soul was somehow connected with the plants that he experimented on because she was a botanist.
See, I'm waiting for the scary movie version of Biolante, in which it's like a guy, like a real stoner dude, who goes for like a final destination death, and then he turns into like the marijuana monster.
Wow, it's McQueen, man! Oh.
He doesn't even kill anybody. He just has the munchies constantly.
Yeah, but the thing with Biolante is that I think it actually looks. I think both of us think that it looks scarier in its plant form than its monster form.
Yes, I super got really bummed when I saw the second evolution of Biolante, because it's Godzilla with tentacles. Whoa!
No, it's a long-snouted she-Godzilla with tentacles.
Yes. Though when it basically was just a rose with like a couple of teeth in the front, that looked fucking weird.
Yeah, and it kind of screamed and almost sang like a crying woman. Was that in the first form? But like really eerie and disheartening.
They need to stop with the whole jump scare thing. We're way over that. I think the new thing should be basically Uncanny Valley stuff.
Yeah.
Like we watched Coraline basically a few minutes ago. we just got back from watching it together, and they basically rely a lot of the whole eeriness and the unsettling and the uncanny valley of sorts. Who knew putting buttons on people's eyes would be so effective?
Yeah, and the whole thing about trying to lull you in a false sense of security and everything, it's really damn effective, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to spoil anything about the movie, but it starts very instantly, like, oh, it's like an ideal version of my family life. Everything is better, everything is good, like it should be. But the thing is that I think you really notice it at first, but it takes a gradient turn towards the worse. But when you watch it the first time, you kind of feel like, oh shit, now it's happening something really weird.
Yeah, and it kind of plays with the way that we've been taught to feel about horror, in that it is something is really, 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 really off, and you're just waiting for that part where it goes horribly wrong, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And that creates suspense, which is like the biggest thing you want in a horror movie. Suspense. You want to anticipate, get ready when it's gonna be really fucked up and shit.
Yeah, I think there's a really good quote. I think it was Stanley Kubrick who said it. I think it was the definition of different kinds of horror, and I think his definition of terror is really interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong, if it isn't Stanley Kubrick, because I think I heard it at the connection with The Shining. But the definition of terror in this case is that terror is the thing you get when you get home at night, and every single object at your home has been replaced by an exact copy.
Oh, I remember that statement. Yeah, that's true. When everything looks fine, but something is horribly wrong anyway.
Yeah.
I think there's a sort of disease where people take that sort of thing to heart, and I think everything in their lives has been like replaced, and they're part of some bigger conspiracy, sort of, which is, it is. I don't know. I keep thinking of like how would that feel, like living like that, sort of having that constant fear, in you. I think of that everybody. Like, what if think about it. I'm talking to you over from abroad because you're back in your back studying, so we're not in the same room. Spoiler alert. Like, what if I'm not really talking to the real Spoodwood? What if you're his perfectly doppelganger roommate, and this is all a conspiracy to I don't know. I don't really know why somebody would blackmail me or anything, but it's part of a conspiracy anywho. Oof. So I wonder like how that would feel. It's probably a lot of the reason because when we were playing Alan Wake, when he gets put into that mental hospital, you sort of I remember that you and me touched on the whole thing of when you put someone into a mental hospital and like, oh well, they're put there wrongly, it sort of gives off a really weird message of believe your delusions. They're trying. It's all a conspiracy. That's why you're there. They're trying to keep you behind bars, sort of. And it's super weird.
Yeah,
it's incredibly weird.
I think I found it. The definition.
Oh yeah.
It's actually from Stephen King.
Stephen King. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, he made
Kirby,
that.
Stephen King.
Yeah. Actually, I remember an episode of SpongeBob that actually did a parody of this.
Of what?
Yeah, of that definition of terror.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
I remember I think it was an episode where Squidward was really mad at SpongeBob like usual, but when they entered SpongeBob's house, everything in SpongeBob's house was remade to look like exactly like Squidward's. Everything. So that means that SpongeBob knows exactly how Squidward lives.
Well,
like
for you Squidward SpongeBob shippers out there, watch the episode. You'll feel right at home. Oh goodness me. Also, we had a few new things happen. Recently. How are we feeling about Diablo Immortal?
That controversy, all that anger, all that.
Yes, I don't even know what to say about it. We watched that particular segment together. We didn't watch all of BlizzCon. Blizzard, while they make super high quality games, has never personally been I've never personally been a big fan of it.
No, same. I really only dabbled in Hearthstone and Overwatch a bit, but none of. And as some of Warcraft 3 when I was young, but nothing really too recent in my case.
I acknowledge their game's quality, but it's I guess I'm just not the target demographic. I thought Overwatch was fun, but I'm also not really. I'm not really into the whole multiplayer esports thing anymore.
The thing with Overwatch was that I found it fun at first, but when it became so big and popular, it kind of brought the whole stressing out and hectic kind of fan base. That
you need to play exactly my way, or you are very bad.
Yeah,
You cannot
that's
have fun with this game.
yeah, that's kind of why I really don't play any team-based PvP stuff anymore, because like the only PvP game I play at the moment is like fighting games, because when I know when I lose, it's at least all my fault. At least I'm not made by myself, and yeah,
essentially that's true. And I you know, and then you got the whole other bogus when you know, they've made the community, you know, the community's on a leash essentially in those team-based shooters.
It's so restricted, and like they don't have any faith in people at all.
No, definitely not. They're like, oh, we want to decrease the toxicity in online games. But I'm like, oh, well, I'm sorry, but that's the kind of people you cater to. That's just it. That's you're gonna have them either way. The only thing, you know, they're gonna go somewhere else when you don't make a spot for them. And it's not, I don't even think it's like a genuine toxicity either. I just think it's people who get amped up and stuff, and they want to be like a little bit, ha, gotcha. And I think they understand that too. They just don't want to admit it. That's just the way things are.
Though I think there's a difference between toxicity and toxicity in quotes.
Yes, definitely.
Because there's toxicity in like screaming and the kind of ruin the game for you, and then the toxicity like banter, you know.
Yeah. For sure.
Ordinary banter,
for sure.
that just haha for the lulz.
I think we may have talked about this in other episodes, other casts, but I've always felt a little bit like people who are not really who don't really understand how the internet works, sort of, you know, take the internet way too seriously than you should.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because like, hear me out. You got all of these bunch of strangers. I like to liken it to the fact that you're at a theater play, and you're both an actor and the audience, and you're all doing your own sort of plays, sort of thing. And it doesn't really matter what, if someone doesn't like your performance, it doesn't really matter that much. Sure, it's hurtful. I'm not gonna deny that it's hurtful if someone doesn't like your stuff and goes like, "Oh, you should do it the way I do. It's quite better that way." But it's also over the internet. The guy's a stranger, far, far, far away, and you know, sure, if you're looking for feedback, then fine. But if you're just doing it for fun, it doesn't really matter what they think, especially on Facebook. Like, hey, somebody called you a dickwad on Facebook. The humanity. It's on the internet. Doesn't really matter.
The horror. Horror.
Because people are like, oh, well, you're hiding behind a screen, so, you know, try telling that to my real face. And they're absolutely right. It's behind the computer screen, so maybe it isn't that big a deal if it's not told to you in person, sort of. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird that should have to come from the neckbeard, sort of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But to go back on the BlizzCon stuff.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
And Overwatch. They announced a new character called Ash, I think, if you pronounce it correctly. It's a female cowboy who has a stand. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, an assistant robot.
Mm-hmm.
Whose name is Bob or Rob. I don't really recall right now.
Okay.
But the thing is that lots of people are screaming like, "Oh, Ash looks boring. We want Rob as the real character because he is a cool hunk of a robot with a top hat and mustache."
Okay, yeah, I've seen the trailer. Yeah. So people are angry about that.
Yeah, and I kind of agree to an extent because I really think that Ash looks like a generic League of Legends character.
I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah,
it's in the name.
Yeah, but really, she really looks like a freaking League of Legends character.
Yeah, she does.
Really?
She really does. She really does look like the whole I'm a Tumblr artist sort of thing. It's weird. It's I you know, they can do what they want to do, and we're going to get into a similar discussion as soon as we get back on track with the album Immortal. But Yeah, it. You know, I would love to see Bob. Bob looks great. He has character despite having no character.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and I really just want more robots in the game.
Yeah, for
Because robots are
sure.
cool.
For sure. I'd love to have a robot that isn't, you know, that isn't like Bastion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like we have Orisa, she's kind of cool. You know, all the Centaur kind of stuff.
A Brazilian robot, I think. Is she
No,
Brazilian?
she's Wakandan.
She's what?
She's Wakandan.
Ah, so okay.
Like Techno Africa, yeah.
I was gonna make a waxed vagina joke, but you ruined it.
Wakanda power is that.
She has the Wakanda power. No, but is she South African then, like Chappie?
No, I think in the Overwatch universe is kind of like a Wakanda-like country that's kind of formed after the whole Robot Wars.
All right.
So they have all this kind of technology.
Oh, okay. See, yeah.
Yeah, so it is Wakanda.
Yeah. Hey, I think, you know, I've been a big, huge pro at changing the subject and, sorry, derailing the subject. But just a little fun fact for both you and the viewers. If an alien invasion were to happen, I would argue the fact that the Middle East or Northern Africa would be the best place to fight it from.
Okay.
Because landmass wise, you're in slap dab in the middle of it all. Sure, America, they can handle themselves. They got a bunch of fucking, you know, they overspend on their military, and they'll be fine over there. But
and they also have a space force now. Remember that?
Yeah, they fucking did Space Marines. Lock on with the fucking bolt guns and cease your heresy, heretic. They got it. They got it all made. It's great.
Because also it also really depends on what kind of aliens are attacking us. Like, is it the orcs? Is it the Tyranids? Is it the Eldar?
Is it or what are they called? The little short people in the Demiurge? Yes.
Yeah.
Who has the most coolest voices ever? Demiurge Brotherhood. Oh God! Watch the Battlefield. The Battlefield Gothic trailer for the Tau. That's great. Good trailer.
The only thing we know for certain is that people will make porn out of the aliens.
Yes. Literally.
Lots of it.
I'm sorry, you can live in your innocent bubble. There will be porn, for sure.
Yeah. I won't blame people if first contact is like, hello, can I have Aryan Milky's Uvu? What's this?
I'd love it. It'd be mint, so to speak.
And then they just leave us and never talk to us again.
Yeah, for sure. I have derailed the subject so much.
No, but it was fun. It was fun. Oh my God. Yeah.
Diablo Immortal. Fucking hell. Let's get back on it.
There's one thing more.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll take a seat.
We're saving the best thing for last, for fuck's sake.
I'm sorry. Go on.
Yeah. Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Right. What about it?
Yeah, it looks kind of good. Like, it's a whole remaster and retooling of the first Warcraft 3. I hope it's good.
Yeah, it looks alright.
Though there will be an influx of soulless posting on 4chan about it, I think, because everything at 4chan is going by this rhetoric. Old, good, new, bad.
Yes. That is true. There's like a threshold for all video games when something gets good on 4chan. That's just the truth of it. And you could, like, case in point, okay, it's not really 4chan, but I bet they think the same way. Do you remember Assassin's Creed 3?
Yeah.
People are praising it again. Many years after its release.
They're being nostalgic for a game that came out 2012.
Yes, it's so weird.
I'm feeling old.
Yeah, it really is like a testament to the passage of time. It's super weird.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here drinking my boomer juice, living the usual life, and then, what a game.
I'll tell you right now, folks. We both went and bought boomer juice right before the episode started. It should be our ritual right now. We should have a boomer juice every time we do the cast.
Yeah.
On the topic of Warcraft 3, it looked fine. It basically played the same from what I understood. Doesn't seem to be in much difference more than graphical. And they also retcon a few things.
Yeah, exactly. They changed the story a bit. We don't know how much yet, but I think it's just that they will make it more WoW friendly, because they're marketing it like this, like witness the origin of Warcraft.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are really, they're more pandering, or not really pandering, but the target demographic. But pandering sounds kind of like it's a really negative term for it. But I try to find a more neutral term for it. That's it.
Yeah.
They are targeting the people who start with World of Warcraft instead of starting with Warcraft. So
they are releasing World of Warcraft Classic too.
Yeah,
that's why I said they sort of pandering to the old crowd of World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
they're like, oh shit, we've gone too far. Bring it back, guys. Ship's going down. People are leaving. No, but
like it's just me, or does every time a new WoW expansion releases, it's like, hey, we add a bunch of stuff, but hey, we just destroy everything else, like, because everyone's complaining all the time.
Yep. I played the classic World of Warcraft when I was very young, and I remember, for example, if you played a hunter, you needed to constantly buy arrows and bolts and stuff. You know, constantly to buy ammo. They've done away with that. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I don't remember well enough to make a statement on if that's a good or a bad thing, to be honest. I guess, but you know, I'm happy that people who like the original can play it again. But I wonder how far back they're rolling it. Are they rolling it back as far as the first game, or are they stopping at Wrath of the Lich King?
I think they're actually doing vanilla. I'm not sure, but or they maybe do like, whoa, we have a Burning Crusade server, or we have a Wrath of the Lich King server, and I think they will kind of cap off at the very latest at Cataclysm if they ever do that.
Because no, Cataclysm is like where, you know, it's in the name. That's where they basically changed the entire game.
Yeah. It was the end of the golden era, if you may call it.
Yeah, for many people it was. I do remember that very much.
Yeah.
Though I never really played WoW for the gameplay. I played it for role playing because I'm a huge disgusting nerd.
Very one of them who like were at the freaking what is it called again, the Golden Tavern shit.
I never really went to Golden. I've heard a bunch of. I hear that it's a bunch of like futa role play at. Like,
I also heard that. I have never spent an hour on WoW. I haven't touched WoW. I only heard from people who played WoW, and every time someone mentions role playing, it's like, oh, Golden Time, right? I'm like, no, like denying it.
It's as bad as you've heard. It is super funny, but you can also tell that people having a lot of fun. So I'm not gonna trash it too much. It looks a lot of fun too, but I wasn't really interested in that sort of role play.
I kind of wonder when it gets replaced by VR chat actually.
Oh, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, because is it the natural evolution? VR erotic role playing.
I wonder how that would work. That would be really awkward.
Like,
that would be super awkward.
I'm touching your boobs and not stealing your neck. Uvu.
Yeah, instead of like writing the asterisk. Yeah, they just do it in real life. But at that point, what's stopping you from actually hooking up? Yes, doing it for real.
Like
we've basically eclipsed fantasy at that point.
Like we like I can understand when it's just text based, like you have to write it. But when you have when you have like full on motion and virtual reality on your hand, you don't have to write it.
No, you literally don't. Like it is super weird because okay, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. Fucking hell. I've got to make super clear about this. I am not in any means a furry. I am not a furry, but I have an account on Furcadia, okay? And I have an account. I have.
Why did you bring this up?
Shut up! I'm getting to it. There's a method to my madness. All right. So I have an account on Furcadia, okay, and this was back when I used to hang out a lot on Stick Page and on Fluid Anims. You know, when I used to animate quite a lot.
Yeah.
And...
I just have to stop you. I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your persona?
Oh, I fucking don't remember. I haven't touched the account since like 2007, I think.
If it is a wolf or a fox, I'm sorry, but I have to put you down because it's generic trash.
I think I made a cat. If I don't remember it wrong.
Oh god, you went full on Uvu posting, right?
Yes.
Full on Uvu posting.
Anywho, I was friends with a guy. I don't keep in touch with him anymore. He was actually a really good animator. I sort of missed the guy. I hope he, you know, I don't. My name's not the same. My internet nickname's not the same anymore, so I bet I'll never meet that guy again. But nonetheless, I miss him. And he had a girlfriend, and I remember that he once invited me, like, "Hey, let's go play some Furcadia." And little innocent me is like, "What do you how does that work? What do you do in Furcadia?" And he's like, "Oh, it's like an MMORPG. You have lots of fun in it." And and I'm like, "Oh, fucking A, let's do it. Let's go get on fucking Furcadia." And I remember like they started role playing.
Yeah, like, ooh, nuzzles your neck and licks your ear. Ooh,
yes,
smells good.
Yes. And I remember that I sort of went along with it, you know, because I like role playing, not in Furcadia, but I like role playing nonetheless. And I remember that they just kind of left the two of them in game. And I stand there with a bunch of people I don't know, and we're having a roleplay discussion with lore. I have no fucking clue about what they're talking about. I just kind of stand there, and I'm like, "Ooh, I'm getting really socially awkward. I'm gonna go look for my friends." And I basically go to another part of the game, and I walk in on them having furry role-playing sex.
Oh, as you do.
As you do. And I remember, like, I kind of stand there, and I'm like, what are, like, because bear in mind, I'm like 13, 15 at this point, and I'm kind of like, what are they doing? What are they up to? What are they up to?
My sweet summer child, your naivete.
Yes, I was a late bloomer on the sexual things in life. So I kind of like, what the fuck are they up to? Like, what's wrong with them? And I remember that they started wearing like asterisks, notices, a chemical standing there, and they sort of in game walked up to me and was like, "What do you think you're looking at?" And I'm like, I basically break characters. Like, I don't know what to do in this game. Like, what are we doing? And she's like, "Well, we're sort of busy." Like, she's still in character, and I'm like, You guys are together in real life. Why are you doing this? You guys are boyfriend and girlfriend. What's the point?
I'm sorry to break this, but what you were witnessing, or what you were participating in, was the furry version of The Room.
Yes, basically. You're tearing me apart.
Take me apart, Uvu.
Nyan.
I'm fed up with this world.
So yeah, that was my experience as a furry. Well, my Furcadia story.
Wait, did you deny you being furry before? But now you're saying you're a furry?
Well,
sounds suspicious.
Well, it depends on how you sort of define it. Because I had an account on Furcadia, and Furcadia is like, I don't know what other reason you would have a Furcadia account other than being a furry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. That's it. And it was a weird time. It was a very sexual time. It was
speaking of sexual times, you have an asshole, right?
Yes.
But don't you like butt sex?
Oh, there we go. We're back on track again.
Yes!
Fantastic.
I'm trying to spin us together back onto track.
Whoa.
Like drifting into it like Initial D.
I'm going to, from now on, stop calling you Speedweed, and I'm going to call you Killer Queen Bites the Dust. Yeah, so we watched the conference. It was amazing. Yeah, well, like the very specific Diablo Immortal part.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I'd never had so much fun in my entire life, because it was so weird.
Like you could cut the tension in the air with a knife.
Yes, definitely.
Like the silence was deafening. There were no clapping or cheering that wasn't like for courtesy.
No, it was very like courteous sort of thing. They were like clapping and like being all
ooh. Like at the order announcement, it would be like lots of cheers and clapping up. Yay, got announced! Yay, coming out! But here was like, oh, I'm clapping and cheering because I am a courteous individual standing here in a group and wanted to just support them in some kind of way, but not out of sheer love or excitement for the product.
Yeah, something that you would liken it to is, do you remember the Gears of War Funko Pop?
Oh yeah. Oh god,
that announcement is amazing. I love it because everybody gets really excited, really pumped up, and then you see like little Funko Pop figurine dropping in, and you like everybody just goes dead silent.
Yeah, like
it's so good.
The Microsoft E3 conference this year was really freaking good in relation to other stuff.
Yeah.
But that was a really lowest point, if I might call it that.
Definitely.
Like, they went from Devil May Cry 5, Jump Force, and all the hype shit, Metro Exodus, all that shit, and down to freaking Funko Pop Gears of War.
Yeah, it was really weird. But it from what I've heard is that it's sort of like a ripoff of a Chinese thing.
Yeah, like Diablo Immortal is.
Yeah, it's
because it's made by a Chinese company that's actually making Diablo clones on the phone.
What are they called? I don't know.
I don't remember what it's called, but the thing they did right now is that they are actually reskinning like the whole game to look like Diablo, and they're selling it like a real game.
And I don't know, man. It's you could theorize a bunch of things of why that is, why they decided to go down this route. It doesn't really matter how you look at it. It's a dumb decision anyway. But I wonder what spurred them to do to start going for the mobile market. Could it be that they sort of like having a little bit of a little cuddly woo with Activision? Could that be the reason? I don't know.
And they really want to impress the Chinese investors. That's why.
Is that big in China? I don't know.
Yeah. The thing is that China has kind of opened up when it comes to game marketing and shit. So now everyone wants to impress China when it comes to games. That's why they're planning to the Chinese market right now.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't know that. That's super weird.
Like that's also the reason why they're censoring Rainbow Six Siege, removing any sexual references, all skulls, and much of the violence.
But that's only in China, right? We in the West still have it.
It's global.
It's global.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's ridiculous. It's I could sit here for the rest of the podcast telling you why censorship and catering to outraged people is a bad idea, but we'd be here forever.
Yeah, like in this case, they would just have to like make Chinese servers and have those servers have been altered, but censoring the rest of the world for it. It's like really freaking strange, because I think there is something in China that, for example, you can't show any skeletons in games because they see it disrespectful towards the dead. And they don't also they really don't like time travel because they think it disrespects history.
That is the most. That's great. Because like time travel is such an abstract concept. Like yeah. Well, what does it matter if you can do time travel? Like
I don't know.
What's the view on timelines then?
Yeah, and I kind of wonder like how do they even market zombie movies there? Because they're all reanimated dead people.
That's true. Also, by the way, Train to Busan, great movie. That's an odd plug. But yeah, actually that's not China, is it? That's South Korea.
Yeah.
They're a bit more lax, I think.
Yeah, South Korea is like one of the most westernized countries in all of Asia.
They, of all people, though, should do mobile games. Sort of.
Yeah, they kind of do. They make some really famous like gacha-like games that are really popular all around the world, and even in Japan, some parts. And you know, many people in Japan freaking hate South Koreans.
Yeah.
And also you may not forget about the free-to-play market that they are currently making.
Yeah. They basically lead like MMO free-to-play games right now. They're huge in that regard. It's very weird. Though one of the coolest things about the whole Diablo Immortal thing was that there were heroes present at the Q&A. I love it.
Oh
so
much. Yeah, they were in cosplay and everything, and they looked like I'm playing this shit right now.
Yeah,
I'm fucking playing this shit.
One of the funniest comments is like the guy who goes, "I'm sorry, I need to ask, is this like an off-season April Fool's joke?"
Oh yeah, oh. He's a hero. He's a fucking hero.
And they're basically like laughing, like ha ha ha. No, it isn't. And he's like, okay, like really depressed about it.
Yeah. Oh, and how entitled he is. He's so evil. Ugh.
Yeah, let's talk about that. And that's an interesting concept. Entitlement to a company that wants to cater to you.
Yeah, it's really weird that some journalists are trying to die on this hill because it feels like they're just using it as a brush off term to just brush off everything criticism and like kind of write articles about it. Like I understand sometimes you have slow news days, but this is seriously done a million times before. It's really tiring and boring.
See, I would phrase it like this: they are entitled to it if they're going to give you money for it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So if they don't, if the majority of their consumers don't want a mobile Diablo, then and they're basically the guys who pay you, who like rake in your cash, then they sort of are entitled to it because your whole goal as a company is to cater to them, to make sure that they buy your product. So they are sort of entitled to it. At the same time, however, I will respect that this is what they want to do. They want to do a mobile Diablo game. Fine. I think it's stupid, but why not? Do you know what I mean? Like, do it. Go ahead. That's fine. Yeah. But, you know, vote with your wallet kind of thing. I won't be buying it. I probably nobody will.
One thing I found funny, though, is that some journalists who started with the whole, it's like a gamer stick, they then got to actually try the game, and they didn't like it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, like, some people may be rude, but this game is not actually good, so we can understand the anger. And also, am I the only one who really thinks that they could averted away this kind of response if they just didn't make the Diablo Immortal announcement the dead last big announcement of the whole thing?
Yeah. I think that was really bad timing. I think everybody waited for a Diablo 4 announcement, and that's why this got so huge.
Yeah, like if they just made it like this, like they start off with the Diablo announcement, go with the Overwatch update with the new hero and shit, and end it with Warcraft 3 Reforged, for example.
Yes, for sure.
Like you want to go off with a bang, and relatively that's a bang of the whole conference because whoa, new game. Although it's a re-release and remaster, it's relatively a new game.
It was sort of a bang, but the bang didn't come from Blizzard. It came from the audience.
Yeah,
Their
that's
anger
it.
was the bang.
Yeah.
You all have phones, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't really want to play games on it. I use it for other stuff.
Real talk though, there are some really mint mobile games. You know, let's not make everybody think that we're total bigots. There's Door Kickers on mobile. That game is fucking sick. I love Door Kickers. There's an old game I used to play called The Runner.
Yeah,
which is like also a lot of fun. Shadow Fight 2. That's a super cool game. Where you essentially design your own fighter. It's unfortunately that game has like microtransactions up the wazoo, so
okay.
you can't.
Yeah,
really play
but
it.
personally, I kind of feel like the more simple games with a good gameplay hook are the ones that are actually worth playing on mobile.
Yeah, you know that's sort of how I feel too. I'm sure in the future, with a little bit of tech development, you can make great mobile games. Right now, I think the greatest mobile game, which isn't really an old mobile game, is drone racing. Because you use your phone to connect to a camera on a drone, and then they make race courses out of it. Which is as AR as you can get.
That's cool. That's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest hindrance to mobile game right now is the controls.
Yes, they're making a controller for mobile gaming. From what I've seen, it looks alright. It basically attaches to the big pads where the controllers would be, and it basically works like a PlayStation controller, essentially.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because when you use a screen as a touch device, it kind of obstructs the whole screen if you're trying to control stuff in it, which can don't really appreciate the whole game.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when I watched the gameplay of like Diablo Immortal, like, wow, it's pretty nice graphics for a mobile game, but I can't see shit because my thumbs are covering the screen.
Yeah, no, that's essentially the biggest problem. That's why the game The Runner is so good, because you essentially control the runner based on how you swipe your phone across the screen.
Yeah.
But you don't have to constantly control a character. It runs
exactly,
all the time.
Exactly, because when you swipe, you don't actually have to hold into position anything and like cover the screen at all. Like it's only momentarily.
You only do it when you need to do something within the game. That's when it's only relevant and nowhere else.
While when you play like a game like Diablo Immortal, you have to push towards a goal when you walk. Therefore, your thumb will always be on the screen.
See, I'm gonna make a very controversial joke, but I'll do it. I'm going for it.
Okay.
Do you remember like how people are saying that women make up most of the mobile games market?
Yeah, remember people got really angry at that at the past.
Yes, and at the same time, people are like, oh well, you know, phones are such a tiny screen, we can't really do anything about it. Yes. So, flashback a couple of months ago, when people were like super really pissed off about phones getting super huge to accommodate like bigger screens because women's hands are too small.
God.
See who's laughing now, then.
Yeah.
No, but you know, it's interesting how the games industry works. The first kind of guy I kind of looked to when the whole Diablo Immortal fiasco came abroad, I was actually looking to Mark Kern. And just disclaimer, I'm not gonna go sit here and talk about Gamergate. Not doing it. Not this episode. It's not relevant. I don't, and you know, I'm not really gonna go Keemstar on you either. But there was like a controversy on Twitter about a certain someone sharing Mark Kern, and I sort of watched the entire thing unravel, and it was super dumb. It's essentially the thing of like, if someone makes a good point, but they have a past you don't agree with, it's almost the most horrible thing ever. You accept every belief that person has ever had. It's ridiculous. But essentially, you know, he made a good point about it. He spoke out a lot about it, and one of the things he said was that he thinks Blizzard is losing touch with its consumer base.
Yeah, probably. There's always a big chance that it happens once a company becomes really large or they form a coalition with another company. In this case, i.e. Activision.
Yeah, because they got to play nice with Activision too. Activision has their own views on things and how they should be run, and they have a say too in how things should work. That makes sense. It does. It really does make sense. And you know, you got to sort of find a way to, you know, swing it around. Try to find a good middle ground where it still works.
Speaking of Activision,
yes,
Destiny 2 is free for the moment.
Have you gotten it?
No, I'm not. But I'm like thinking, how fucking dare you do that right now like that? Because haven't people like spent over $120 on that game? Like, and it's free right now. Less than 2 years.
Yes.
After it got released.
Yep.
It's a freaking Evolve situation all over again.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes, I remember it. It's a scummy deal, because I think that was the only time that I've been angry at Monster Hunter was when I bought Monster Hunter Generations on the 3DS, and then they announced a very much improved, better version.
Generations Ultimate, 2 days after we bought the first one on 3DS.
And after that point, you and me, we kind of stopped playing it. Yeah, we got like, oh, fuck off.
Yeah, and we waited, and now we have both Generations Ultimate on the Switch instead.
Yeah, you know, but in that case, we understood. They're a Japanese company. They were, you know,
it's kind of become a tradition in. When it comes to Monster Hunter, because like they always release the first game in Japan only, usually, and then they release the whole package later in the rest of the world. But in this case, they actually released the ordinary game in the West too, which is really freaking odd, because I remember they did not release 4 at all in the West, but waited until 4 Ultimate.
Yes, and we usually get like not the sloppy seconds, but we do get the collector's edition, we in the West, most of the time.
Yeah, with all the DLC and fancy DLC outfits.
That's a good thing, though. You don't have to wait for all the good content. It's already there, and you got the whole game to play.
Yeah. So now we can have a freaking cat with a Yu-Gi-Oh clothes on it.
Yeah, but the important thing here is that there are 2 different versions of the game that with very different quests and monsters and all that stuff. It doesn't play as the original Generations. It's very different. And in the case of Destiny, that's the very same game. And they're like, haha, I paid money for this. Now it's free.
To be fair, though, I think that both Generations and Ultimate start the same, but they sprinkle in the extra content, extra monsters and stuff within the campaign and the post game.
Different.
Was it really?
Yes.
No, I don't. No.
Quite sure
it's the same. No, it's the same when you start.
Oh, well, I'll take your word for it. I actually don't know.
But they kind of added the new monsters at the later quests.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You would know that better than me. I'd say you're the brains of this operation. But I'm not gonna go too far on Destiny because I've never played a Destiny game.
Same. So I really don't want to drag on it too much. Because I feel that would be kind of unfair.
The only thing I feel is that I hope that they got some compensation, existing players.
Yeah, I freaking hope so.
I don't think they'd get a refund. I don't think that's
no.
But something else, maybe a cool item or whatever, like sloppy second shit.
Speaking of refunds,
yes.
Have you heard about the whole controversy about the newest Tomb Raider game?
No.
The thing is, the game got released, I think it was in September.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, it went on sale.
Mm-hmm.
And people got really mad because they pre-ordered the game and all. But 2 weeks after, it was 30% off.
The game didn't do so well, did it?
No, not at all. It's like catastrophically, yeah.
Well, that's sad. I like Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
I just wish that the new games wouldn't be her wheezing for the
all
entire
the time,
gameplay. Yeah.
Like it's fine for the first game. It's fine for origin story.
Yes.
But I feel like they really should have just kept up the pace and like developed her more clearly into the character that we all know and love from the old games.
Yeah, because it's been 3 games already, and we're still in the prologue of her story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's so freaking stupid. Like the first game, Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And then Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yes.
And then Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yes, we haven't really gotten to the.
There is no consistency within the titles.
No, there isn't. Though I must say I really enjoyed the first game. It was good. It was a good time.
Oh yeah, it's a good time.
But I have to be honest, I really got annoyed by the whole wheezing and screaming and panting thing. I understand that they wanted to communicate that she's not the Tomb Raider yet. But
yeah, exactly. It's an origin story.
Much. It's an origin story. Yeah. But they could have chilled out just a teeny tiny bit. That would have been great. It would have been fantastic. Oh well. It's a shame when companies do that. I remember Mark of the Ninja. They they actually did a remake of it recently, which I haven't played yet. I need to get on it. My backlog is too large.
It isn't really a remake. It's more of a remaster with updated shit in it.
Yeah. Sorry, remaster. I keep forgetting the
lingo.
The linguistics. But people who I got it for free. I have it in my Steam library now.
Nice, yeah.
Didn't buy anything.
I bought it during a sale, like I think about €4 or something.
Yeah, and the remaster or the original?
The original, but I got the.
Then you have the remaster. They
you mean like that? Yeah. That's really nice. Like they did the same with the Darksiders games. Like,
didn't they do the same with Wasteland 2? I think they did.
Wasteland 2. I don't have Wasteland 2, so I don't know.
My dude, play Wasteland 2. It's great. It makes you feel all giddy because it's the original Fallout games all over again. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, because Darksiders did the same when the licenses got brought up by THQ Nordic, and they released Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition. Haha, like Death in its name, because you play as Death.
Yeah.
And Darksiders War Mastered Edition.
Oh yeah, I have the War Mastered Edition.
War Master.
I have the War Master Edition. It's when you get the Eat People unlock very early into the game.
It's great. War Mastered.
War Master.
Oh my.
But then you have cases like the Dark Souls 2 remake. You have the Scholar of the First Sin.
Yeah, that's really freaking odd and counterproductive.
It's like the thing about the game, which is super weird. This was something I saw on Twitter, and I completely agree with it. Understanding, if you want to play Scholar of the First Sin, it's weird because supposedly it fixes the problem of the original Dark Souls 2. However, playing it without having played the original Dark Souls 2 is really weird.
Yeah.
Because it presumes that you've played the original Dark Souls 2. Sort of in its enemy placement, in its difficulty.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very meta in that way because it's like, ha, we trolled you there.
Yeah.
Lols.
It's super weird. It's super weird. I played through maybe 2/3 of Dark Souls 2. I've sort of played a 10th of Dark Souls 1. I need to finish more games. But yeah, the whole re-releasing games is such a weird practice overall. Sometimes it's really warranted though. You have Rome 2 Emperor Edition.
Oh yeah,
that game needed to be updated so bad.
Yeah, I remember when Total Rome 2 was released, and it was all those glitches everywhere. It was the talk of the internet for a while.
It was really bad. I don't remember much of it, but I remember that it was not a good time for anybody when that game rolled around. And now they have the whole new controversy with female generals, which we talked about in our first episode.
Yeah. Shameless plug-in for previous episode. Insert here. Wow.
Oh,
Give us news, people, please. Help us.
One thing that I am super excited about, speaking about re-releasing games.
Yeah.
They're fucking rebooting Shrek.
Oh, yes!
I am so...
Because that's exactly what we need! A fucking Shrek reboot! They have to make the lore less weird! Of all things to reboot, you choose Shrek.
Yes.
You choose Shrek.
Everybody get fucking ready for Shrek Reloaded. or Shrek Revengeance.
Shrek Revengeance.
Yes.
Yes.
Shrek. I'm running out of jokes.
Shrek Revengeance and Knuckles featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series.
Shrek Emperor Edition. It's fantastic. It's also made, and guys,
oh god,
hold on to your little knickers. It's made by the guy who made Despicable Me.
Yeah, Illumination Studios.
Illumination Studios.
Wait, was it like that the company that owns Illumination Studios, Comcast, they now own DreamWorks? So they're working in coalition.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I like Despicable Me 1. It was alright. It was a good romp. However, they also brought us something else than Despicable Me. They also influenced a whole generation of Facebook memes.
The Facebook modders got new ammunition.
Yes, they got new fuel to their sinful posting. It's great. Fantastic.
You know the situation is bad when Smash Mouth's Twitter actually react to the Shrek reboot news.
Oh, are they? What do you think? Do you think they're gonna be in it?
I kind of hope, but I just really want like a sad remix of All Star, like for the open credits, a la like a Bond intro or something.
One of the things that I am really dreading, like my thighs are like shaking in anticipation, is the inevitable redesign of Shrek and Puss in Boots and the donkey, and it's gonna be disgusting.
Like, how will they do? Will they do it more realistic or more stylized, or
more
do,
cartoony?
Like, or they will go with Cal art? Yay!
If they go more cartoony.
Oh, sorry. I mean Beanmouth style. Yeah, because Cal art is a whole subsect of many different styles, actually. But yeah.
Oh well, yeah. I'm not. That debate's done and over with. I'm not getting into Cal arts again.
No.
But I'm scared of it being more cartoony, and I don't think my little weak chemical heart can handle it, to be honest.
The question is though, can you handle a photorealistic Shrek?
Yes, there is one. They made they made a whole theater about it. there is a Shrek theater.
Yeah, was it a musical?
Yes, Shrek Broadway. What kind of universe is this? But when we have fucking Shrek on Broadway, that's great. I love it.
Well, it really is the Shakespeare of our age.
It's great. It's fantastic. I love this little universe that we live in.
The thing is, though, will they go and make it dark and gritty, or will they make it fun and friendly? Is the question.
That's the question. I also wonder if they will be redoing the same story, because they haven't really said.
No.
Is it a hard reboot or a soft reboot?
Yeah, because I remember the news came out a couple of years ago, like, hey, Shrek 5 is being planned right now. Yeah. Like, okay, so I think it's a continuation. But with this news, it's like, a reboot? Or do they really mean a relaunch? If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars Force Awakens is a relaunch.
Yes. It is a soft reboot, definitely.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Of course, I'm sitting here hoping in that it's good. There's nothing to win in hoping that it's bad.
Yeah, but the chance of it being good is like really minimal because Illumination is also working right now on the Super Mario movie.
Ugh.
Yeah, though I have a conspiracy theory when it comes to this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Nintendo is actually using Illumination as a shell company in order to oversee the production of their own movie, because I don't think for a minute that Nintendo will allow anyone make a movie based on their property without supervision after what happened with the Mario movie in the 90s.
Also, EA and Star Wars.
Yeah,
I think that is a testament to as a film company, you better keep whoever is adapting your work, you better keep them on a tight leash. I'll tell you that much.
Like, it would really surprise me, like, if what's his name? I was about to say Sakurai, but it's Shigeru Miyamoto. Yeah.
Yes.
I would not be surprised if Shigeru Miyamoto is like on every single production day. He's like scouring through the whole company and like looking so that everything is right, and everything follows the plan. And like,
yeah, definitely. I would not be getting any sleep if I had a big company like making a movie out of stuff that I made. Definitely not. I would get fucking so much anxiety over it. It would be insane.
You know what would be the worst scenario?
What?
If they remake the story of Mario Rabbids, but they replace rabbits with minions.
Rabbids. But rabbits are minions, though.
Yeah, exactly.
They are. There's no difference between them, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
Like the other thing you have to do is like take a compilation of the game's cutscenes and tint it yellow instead, and bam, done.
Yes, which is weird because that would also mean that why didn't the rabbits become famous sooner?
Yeah, that's really odd because of all things, that the game itself is like an XCOM clone that actually works. It's really weird.
Oh, you mean the whole Super Mario versus Rabbids or whatever it's called.
Like I remember when I saw the announcement, I was dreading the shit of it. I was like, holy fuck, this is gonna be really shit and shovelware.
Mm-hmm.
But the gameplay itself is like, it's a competent XCOM clone.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I bought it during a sale.
Oh,
I was like,
cool.
I watched this game and it's that game. I heard actually good things about it. Try it out and like, it's a quite enjoyable 8-hour romp. Some boss fights are actually, you actually have to use tactics for one sometimes.
Whoa, what a novel concept.
Whoa. So yeah, I think that Ubisoft kind of got high on the success with that game, and that's why Star Fox is now in Starlink.
I'm sorry, it's not called Starlink.
Oh, sorry.
It's a fucking Star Fox game. I'm sorry, Nintendo stole it.
Yeah, from everyone else.
From everybody else. It's just the truth of it. It's just the reality of the situation, my dudes.
Speaking of odd company couplings and ships.
Yeah.
Did you hear what Sega did when they were making publicity for Sonic Forces last year?
No.
They made a business deal with Hooters.
Hooters.
Yes, of every yeah. Because when you play a kids game, you really need some big boobs and chicken.
Oh, like some things are so weird. You know, wasn't it like just a couple of years ago that YouPorn wanted to make an esports team?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Whatever happened to that? Did they actually make it?
I'm not sure.
No, I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, it was like, haha, what's for the lulz? And then, we have to make it. Oh.
I'm sure that somebody will be frantically Googling for the YouPorn esports team. And I'm pretty sure that we'll find out soon if they actually made it or not.
Yeah. That or lots of esports themed porn.
Ooh, esports themed porn. How would that even work?
Like, please, can you take the left lane of my ass?
Oh, goodness me. Um, I keep thinking of the whole, like the famous JPEG of Christian Bale with with a woman's legs like over his shoulders, and then he's like holding a PlayStation controller.
Yes.
That's how I imagine that it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I also kind of, I don't know, like, you have to be honest, like, porn sites, oh my god, I already feel like this is going into strange territories. We're going there, guys. We're moving in. I feel like the porn sites on other social platforms than their own are actually pretty cool. They're pretty cool people. Like, I remember when YouTube did the whole like, oh, when you're hovering above the video thumbnail, they'll show clips of the movie so you know what you're getting into.
Oh god.
And then Pornhub was like, yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah. That's
embarrassing.
Though I think that feature is exclusive on Google Chrome actually, because I'm using Firefox and
it might be.
I can't seem to get it worked. Yeah.
I don't know the inner workings of that stuff, unfortunately. But
time to delve into programming different applications and sites. Whoa, web design.
Haha, whoa. It's weird in that way. How who'd think porn stars and porn sites would be cool.
Yeah,
would be cool people.
Yeah. Speaking of other Twitter ramblings, did you see that Elon Musk was getting replies from Yoko Taro of all people?
No, I did not.
There
we are. Everybody, this is now a Keemstar podcast.
Yeah, sorry, but
no, it's alright. It's alright.
This was a really fun thing because Elon Musk tweeted out to be, and you're talking to me like, that's my video game. So people are now like, oh, does it mean that Elon Musk is gonna make some cute Android girls for us all?
Yes.
I hope so.
Don't you see it? It's the same thing with Hideo Kojima. Now Elon Musk is gonna join forces with Yoko Taro and be in his latest game.
Yes.
So we have
we
have Norman Reedus and the Funky Fetus, and now we have Elon Musk and the girl with a giant tusk. Musk.
They go with even more Musk.
I like yours better. That was a lot better.
Yeah. The thing about when it comes to Yoko Taro is that he's really meta when it comes to his humor, because in one of the DLCs for the Automata, one of the final bosses during the Colosseum quest is actually the CEO of Square Enix.
That's awesome.
Like he rises down, like ominously flying, red eyes and shit. But it's totally him. It's totally of it, and he's like the final boss there.
That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah,
it's great.
Sadly, he's no longer within the company because today the news broke out that Square Enix has lost $33 million of revenue because lacking game sales.
Oh, that's a shame to hear, actually.
Yeah, so he resigned, and now they have to find a new CEO. And among with that, they're also canceling the plans of further DLC for Final Fantasy 15, specifically episode Luna Freya, episode Noctis, and episode something. Because
what about the 7 Final Fantasy remake?
We don't have any information about that right now.
They didn't say anything about it then.
No. But I think that the problem was that Final Fantasy 15 was a project that has been bleeding money to the company for over 10 years. So I think they it was already getting mean looks throughout the company, like, this freaking project is never getting done, it's already cost us so much money, just shut it down already.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. It's a shame to hear it though. What is he gonna do? Because weren't they talking about making Nier into a franchise?
Yeah, for a while ago, yeah, but I think that Yoko Taro is kind of safe. Oh no! Because he was good friends with Yoko Taro, that guy.
Who?
So, the CEO who just resigned.
Okay.
So, I really hope that the new guy keeps his attitude with Yoko Taro, because...
Oh, I thought Yoko Taro had to resign. That's what I understood. No. So the CEO quit. Okay.
Yeah. So, I just hope that Yoko Taro keeps his stand with the company after the retirement of the CEO guy.
Oh yeah, for sure. I hope that the new CEO is actually a cool dude, if you will.
Yeah, like a similar thing happened with Capcom recently, where the CEO just kind of went off. There were no financial losses. In fact, it was the opposite, because they like gained crazy amount of money because of Monster Hunter World and Universe Ultimate. So the guy who is responsible for Monster Hunter is now the head for the division for fighting games at Capcom.
Ah,
that's really interesting.
That's
really freaking interesting.
How's that gonna work?
Yeah, I wonder, because
Monster Hunter is more like a beat 'em up, I guess. You could.
Yeah, it's more beat 'em up, and their whole business model is more fair in many cases. Because Capcom has a bad reputation of making lots of DLC for their fighting games. So yes. I think that if the guys who make Monster Hunter is head of that, they can actually make more consumer-friendly choices.
Yeah,
actually,
I haven't seen a lot of updates from the latest Street Fighter game in a while, actually.
The thing, they released costumes themed after Darkstalkers Classic, and I think they're gonna release an anniversary costume pack soon. But the thing is that it's all released in like $10 packs, which gets really expensive after a while. Though I have to comment on one thing, and this that you can actually earn this DLC for free if you play the game like crazy.
Okay.
You can gain in-game currency like for playing.
For playing? Ah.
Yes,
that's nice.
So, like if you play like we say around 800 match, you can afford like a costume pack.
It's great when games do that. PlanetSide 2 did it too. The more you play, the more you help out with your team. You know, the more stuff you can buy for it. On the other hand, though, it was super expensive. You had to play quite a bit to get anywhere with it, unfortunately. So that sucked big time.
Bigusticus, yeah.
Yeah, but there was I used to be friends with a good Warframe player, and the way he said it, it's like a tactic for every game that is free to play, is that he essentially said, play it for a week. If you like it, make one purchase and play it for another week.
Yeah, so you can delegate it to one purchase a week.
Because so you can pull back at any time with not a lot of money lost. They essentially say the same thing for if you want to get into Warhammer, for example. They say buy the big rule book and just have it. Just buy the rule book, and then you buy the codex for whatever army you want to play, and then you have it. And you know, that's not any advice I followed myself. I'll be real honest with you.
Too bad. Yeah,
I got really hooked
otherwise, on it. Because what you said, it sounds like a really fair investment when it comes to, if you think about, like, if you want to pull out or if you change your mind, then I have this right now. It could be good to have down the line, even if I don't really play it like it's supposed to right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Everybody needs a rule book. So if you like, okay, I don't want this, sell it. Just give it to somebody else. And it's not like a model in which you know, they'll be like, oh, you know, you already assembled it or you already cut the pieces out and I don't want it. So that then it's a lot easier to sell the rule books. I didn't follow this advice when I started out myself because I play Warhammer. But that's because a friend pulled me in. And he essentially guided me through it. But if I didn't have somebody who told me to play it, that's the way I would have gone, definitely. And I'd say that's a good way to go for every free-to-play game. Go in piece by piece. And if you can safely say after a month, okay, I'm really hooked on this, you know, go for it. It takes about 77 days to make a habit, so you got plenty of time to see if it's really your thing.
Yeah,
essentially, that's the way I feel about it. Nonetheless, and yeah. Also, by the way, I was meaning to ask you about What are your current thoughts on Goblin Slayer thus far?
Well, I still think that the first episode is kind of a bad representation of the show in the entirety, because the show itself isn't like all grim, dark, and edgy all the time. It's more like a fun romp with D&D caricatures.
Yeah,
But,
see, I figured this would be a good topic to close on, because I've been meaning to discuss Goblin Slayer for quite a while, and even though I don't have a lot to say about it, I think it's still interesting like the attention that it's gotten.
Yeah.
I remember the first episode is like the big thing where everybody lost their minds over it.
Yeah, and we went in watching it like expecting the worst of the worst.
Yes. Not disappointed, but underwhelmed we were.
Yeah.
We kind of looked at it and we were like, oh yeah, there's worse things. There's literally worse things. If you really want to go the whole what's the most offensive thing route, there is worse.
Yeah, much worse.
Yeah.
But like I think it. Though I think that it's actually one thing that actually caused all this, and that's because Crunchyroll didn't do their job.
How so?
They rated the whole show wrongly. They rated it like it would be suitable for young like 12-year-olds or something. And it wasn't until after that they actually corrected the age rating.
Oh yeah, fair enough. But I sort of feel that so far it's alright. It's nothing big. Yep. People are like hailing it as this huge it's a Berserk reborn. It's not no. It's alright. It's just a funny like, anime time.
Like there are better animes right it's season right now, like Yo-Yo Part 5. That is freaking slime anime. That's pretty funny actually. Gridman is also pretty funny and good.
However,
and Golden Kamui, yes.
The character of Goblin Slayer is funny. Yeah. I like the character of Goblin Slayer.
To be fair, I kind of think he's the sole reason why people are actually really liking the show right now, because he's so endearing in some kind of weird way.
Yeah, and that's really it. I don't get why people made such a big fuss about it. No. I don't quite understand it. Because a lot of people were like, oh, it's really bad, should be banned, while other people were like, yeah, stick it to the sensitive people, the SJWs, haha, show them who's boss. And then you have us who kind of like, it's alright. It's okay. It's you don't want to kill yourself watching it, which
which is also a plus.
Yeah, which is also a plus. Haha, Resident Evil 6 on the other hand, that's an entirely different story.
Do you want me to get the freaking news or something?
What?
Do you want me to get the news?
Get the news?
Yeah, the news, because...
I thought you said the news, not the news.
No, the news!
That's right, get the news.
Because I'm about to hang myself!
Well, you heard it from Speedweed. He's about to hang himself, so we might as well wrap up, so he can go do his news business. Yeah, that was a good time. It's been a while since we did the podcast, so it's really fun doing it again.
Yeah,
especially now that we're not tied to Halloween.
Yeah, exactly.
We will be doing the last part of the Alan Wake let's play or whatever soon. We're gonna finish the game. We promised that much, and then we're gonna move on to some other game that we find interesting and go from there. And also, as you may have noticed, we don't have a scheduled part on our Twitch anymore, or anywhere else for that fact. It is our Twitter. So please, if you for some reason against your better judgment like what we do, follow us on Twitter, and you'll get all updates there. We post some funny memes, we say stupid shit, and will be a disgrace to being alive. Essentially it.
Yep. I think that's it.
That's it.
Have a good one, everyone.
Yeah, have a good night. See you
Stay
guys.
healthy and be happy. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.